Peace, infinite waters, diving deep once again. Beautiful deep divers, shout out to you. We are out here in the heart of nature, baby. Salute to Mother Nature, because it's a beautiful day. We got birds flying everywhere. We got birds over there and stuff. We got the leaves swaying around and stuff. But are you going through a big spiritual awakening by any chance, deep divers? And nobody understands you? Your family are like, what on earth are you talking about? Even some of your friends are like, huh? And you're like, oh my gosh, Ralph, what on earth is happening to me? Holy shift. Oh yes, holy shift. Things only people going through a big spiritual awakening will understand. Deep divers, let's just, woo, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. So a lot of people are waking up on the planet to their true power. And because of that, many people who are going through a big spiritual awakening can sometimes have people looking at them like, huh? Fifth dimension? What on earth are you talking about? Is that happening to you right now? You feel different. You got a whole new body, a whole new mind, a whole new perspective. And you're like, Ralph, holy shift. We are about to dive straight into it because I've gone through a massive spiritual awakening too, and there are certain things that only people who go through a big spiritual awakening experience will understand. And we ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello there? So I remember when I went through my first big spiritual awakening experience. And boy, oh boy, it was exhilarating. I'm like, woo, feels so good to be alive, baby. But at first, I was more like, I don't want to do that. You see, things only people going through a big spiritual awakening will understand is that we begin to lose interest in the mundane, the normal, duties and responsibilities. Parents saying, go and deliver this to that auntie. And you're like, huh? I'm too busy thinking of the fifth dimension, thank you. We lose interest in the day-to-day normal matrix routine. And that's why many people who are going through a big spiritual awakening, what we understand, understand and overstand is that we aren't just this body. We aren't just a person, because a person means a persona, a mask. We are multi-dimensional beings having human experiences. Slow motion this side. And life's a trip, okay? We realize that going through my first big spiritual awakening experience, what happened to me was I had a desire not to fit in. Because I'm like, what am I fitting into? Like the great Krishnamurti said, it is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. And I love Krishnamurti. And many people who are going through a big spiritual awakening experience right now are like, what is this? Like, what are we doing on the planet? So many people fail to question. And I realize that as we are approaching the age of Aquarius. The hidden is coming to light. And for the first time, we are realizing that we are powerful co-creators. You see, things only people going through a big spiritual awakening experience will understand is that time is man-made. Okay, like, I don't check the calendar. I don't even know what day it is. The cat down the road tells me that. If I do buy a watch, it will read now. Slow motion this side. Many people going through a big spiritual awakening realize that because time is an illusion, the past, the present, and the future are happening simultaneously. Therefore, many people lose track of time after undergoing a massive spiritual awakening. We start to realize the whole world is not what it seems. Much of what we have been taught in schools is a lie. It's his story. In other words, his story. It's not yours. So many times it can be overwhelming. But what a lot of people going through a big spiritual awakening understand, because they tell me in their emails, is that, Ralph, I just want to be alone. Like, quite frankly, I don't even like human beings. Oh, many people who are going through a big spiritual awakening experience crave alone time because it's the only time they actually get to reconnect with their true authenticity. In a world that's always constantly trying to change you, in a world which promotes comparison and competition, many people, after undergoing a massive spiritual transformation from their spiritual awakening, don't want to compare themselves to anybody, not even the cat down the road. They love being alone because nobody will judge them. Slow motion this side. But also, it's a great time to reconnect, to recharge. Many times, a lot of people don't get why people who are going through a big spiritual awakening head to nature. They go hiking. They go to the mountains. They crave nature spaces. And breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Because I know, like, as soon as I had my big spiritual awakening, experience, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm addicted to this phone. Not anymore, right? I started to lose interest in things. Like, even though I love my phone, I love technology, but I started to lose interest in things, material possessions. I started to put more value on human beings. You see, the problem with the world is that most people love things more than people. But when you are going through a big spiritual awakening, you start to respect people more than things. You start to have more compassion, more empathy. And 7-Day Vegan Challenge, you start to respect animals, all life forms. Like, a lot of people can't get why you're like, oh, it's a cow. They're like, so what? I want it on my dinner plate. You're like, no, I love cows. I love pigs, right? You love all life forms, okay? And that's what people who are going through a big spiritual awakening experience understand. They respect all life. They're also reading the ingredients. Shout out to everybody doing the 7-Day Vegan Challenge. Shout out to all the raw foodists out there. Everybody who's promoting a healthy eating lifestyle. Goji berries full of vitamin C, papaya, jackfruit, spinach, and coconuts. All of that good stuff. When you are going through a big spiritual awakening, people don't get why you become so health conscious. And that's what happens because it starts with the food. Once you eat better, you start to attract better things to you. Things only people going through a big spiritual awakening will understand. What happens? You count how many times you see 11:11 in the week. How many times did you see 11:11? Be honest, okay? And that's a sign of a big spiritual awakening. Many times you will see 11:11. you will see the numbers align as you are also aligning within yourself. Slow motion this side. Things only people going through a big spiritual awakening will understand is that you look up to the ceiling and you dream of your twin flame. You dream of being reunited with somebody who understands, understands, and overstands your soul like nobody else, okay? You crave deep connections, meaningful interactions, heartfelt friendships more than anything else. You crave connection, and a lot of people don't understand it, okay? But many times, like as soon as I went through my big spiritual awakening experience, I'm like, I want to talk to somebody about the fifth dimension. Where are you? You've got so much to share, and many times not everybody can understand it. You see, many times people can't really get where you're coming from. And what's helped me along my journey is to really connect with people who remind you who you are, okay? A lot of people who are going through a big spiritual awakening, I'm here to tell you, you are not alone. And many times what you know is that you aren't alone. Everything is interconnected. There are no accidents. There are no coincidences in this reality. Everything is happening for a reason. What many people know who are going through a big spiritual awakening is that there are forces on earth, but ultimately we have to allow love to guide us and not fear. And then we'll just say, feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello? Hey, beautiful deep divers, you are truly amazing. Shout out to everybody who knows that we are multidimensional beings. We're just, woo, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Shout out to everybody who's been getting the good ass prana shirts. ralphsmart.com/clothes. Head to Instagram, get more inspiration at Infinite Waters. Deep divers, have a beautiful day. Infinite Waters, diving deep once again. Stay well, stay healthy, peace. You! Holy shift!